Good, man. Back in the office, you know. I'll see you next week. Cons- Consistency might win. The only problem is if you bet opposite, you're still going to get 8. Hi, Jenna, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can. How are you today?
Great. Give me just 1 minute. I just need to turn the volume up.
No worries.
All right, I think I got it.
Perfect. Does that sound better?
I'm sorry?
I was just testing. Does that sound good? Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Great. And who else do we have in there with us?
Hey, I'm the owner here, Greg.
Perfect. Greg, nice to meet you. So, I'm assuming you guys can see my screen okay? The agenda on one side, Profit Rhino on the other?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, agenda and profit right. Got it.
Perfect. Just a kind of a roadmap of what we'd like to hit as we walk through these demos here today. Pain points, really, before we jump into it too much, I'm going to pause and let you guys tell me a little bit about the business, what you guys are doing now, where you're looking to go, just to make sure we can kind of focus on what's important to you guys. Introduction, of course, we've done, just kind of say hello here. Demonstration, I will pull the iPad right up on the screen. We'll look at everything just as your tech and as your customer will see it. And then maybe more importantly, we'll jump in the web portal and see how we're going to update and change and do all that stuff for you guys. We'll do questions the entire time, and then I will get you right back to your day. So if one of you doesn't mind, just take the floor for a minute and tell me a little bit about the business now. What brought you to Profit Rhino, where you guys are looking to go, again, so we can kind of focus and look at what's going to be important to you guys today.
Yeah, sure. So we're a small heating and air company. We just started up within the last couple of months. Greg's my husband. He's been doing this for 20 years, but decided to branch off on his own in the, like I said, in recent weeks. But so we're just getting started. We're looking for software. We know we need it. We were looking at Field Edge, and we wanted a flat rate. They recommended you guys. So we haven't signed anything up with them, but they even helped us get signed up for the demo today, so that we could take a look at you guys and kind of see what our options are. We're looking at them and a couple others as well that are out there.
Awesome. Well, perfect. So we'll do two things today. First, we can actually jump in right in. I have a Field Edge account, so we can look and see exactly what the flat rate book is going to look like inside of Field Edge. So you guys will see exactly what your customers will see, what they'll, how it'll look, how it'll feel, in the field to your customers. Also, real quick, we'll jump in and take a look at our app as well. Don't tell Field Edge I'm going to do it, but we also provide, a selling tool, a management tool as well here. It's probably going to be at a little better cost range for you guys as well. So we'll kind of take a look at both of those if it's okay with you guys here. As I said, as we run through, please feel free to stop me with any questions. I'm a New York guy. That's how we talk to each other, is by interrupting and yelling. So don't feel bad if you have a question. Just jump right in here and stop me. With that being said, let's pull the tablet up here and let's jump right in and take a look at it here, guys.
Great.
And looks like I need to reset my cursor. Give me just a moment here. Perfect. All right. So this is just my iPad mirrored to the screen. You do not need a new iPad, a special iPad. This is an iPad 3, maybe an iPad 4. So it's a good 6-7 years old. They still work just fine. So keep that in mind. No need to jump out and buy real expensive iPads. First thing we'll jump into, since you guys said it was Field Edge here. Again, you guys have spoke to them. I'm sure they've helped you out with some stuff here. So what we're going to do here, and really I'll try to get us all the way back home, if I can do it. Perfect. So this is a home screen of Field Edge. I'm sure they've shown this to you guys already. As we go through, I really want you to keep in mind that when we're working with Field Edge, even though we're two companies working in Symphony, there's really a very clean line in the sand from what Field Edge is doing, what Profit Rhino's doing. We're really just providing your price book information, some upsells, cross-sells, some selling tools, that kind of stuff here. If I refer a question back to Service Titan, it's simply, guys, because it's a functionality of their service, not mine. Don't want to talk out of turn about that. So that being said, if we jump in here, you guys will go out, you'll dispatch yourself to a job here, which I've already took the time to do before we jumped on. Go to items, and then once you go to add an item, this is where you start to see Profit Rhino inside of Field Edge. As you guys may or may not know from talking with them, we have over 3,300 custom images in this book in a little over 10,000 different places, all of which can be updated, changed, manipulated. You can crop them different ways. You can do whatever you want to them unlimitedly here. The other big thing about what we're seeing here is the view. Obviously, you guys said you're doing HVAC. Since you're just in the infancy, I assuming you're not doing electrical, you're not doing plumbing, except for maybe some minor stuff with new equipment installed.
Maybe one day.
So, well, the cool thing is we can turn all that stuff off now. So when you're out there, you just look at the AC, the heating, probably your hot water, and maybe your new equipment installs. As you guys grow, then when you get a plumbing division, we have a plumbing book here. All we have to do is go in the back, hit a toggle, turn it on. Same with your electrical, your drain cleaning, that kind of stuff. So you guys are going to get everything, and you can just control what shows. So until you have those things ready, we turn them off, just make it cleaner, easier for the guys to work through in the field.
Okay.
We jump inside any of these books. We set every book up the exact same way to try and ask the tech a few brief questions to get to the job as fast as possible. That time of year is coming. We'll jump in the heating book. First, pretty obvious question is what type of heating system are we looking at? Again, here's your heating systems. If you guys aren't doing oil, steam, same thing. We'll turn them right off. That way you don't actually go in the wrong book. You don't add wrong motors, wrong belts, that kind of thing here. Forced hot air, probably one of the most common. And then what kind of job are we looking at this system? Again, it's going to fall under your controllers, sparkers, blowers. I don't need to explain it to you guys. And then once we go in the motors, this is where the images, I think, really take over. If you're in the field and you need to find a belt drive, direct drive, capacitors, brackets, pulleys, you guys see it here. Super easy for you guys to find. Something else that we kind of found out on accident is customers are much more receptive to the purchase if they can see a picture of it. Mrs. Jones has no idea what a capacitor is or does, but the fact she can see a picture of it, and then when you bring it in, it looks like the picture, that makes it a tangible purchase and just makes the customer more comfortable with that. So really cool stuff. And then the other thing here is the 2 levels of pricing. I assume probably you're not there yet, but you're going to get to some point where you want to do service agreements, planned maintenance programs, loyalty programs, what do you guys call them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We have a couple already, but that's something that we're looking to really build and grow.
Awesome. And what we're trying to do here is get the customer to ask about it. You guys know when you're out there in the field, if the customer asks you about something, you have a way better chance of selling it than if you're just trying to give them a hard sales pitch right there in their house. So if we can get the customer to ask us, well, how am I going to save $70 on this? That's when you can jump in and say how great your planned maintenance program is, all the benefits, all that stuff, and really let them kind of open the door, and you can kind of kick it down at that point. So you're going to really see that follow us everywhere for that exact point. If we get to the end and they still haven't asked, then at that point, we can throw them the sales pitch. We jump in any of these guys, obviously the image, what the customers are going to want to see here. Inside, you're going to see the levels of pricing like we talked about. If we scroll down just a little bit, you'll always see a repeat of what we call the tech description. You'll always see that on the first page as well. And again, just something to make sure the tech's grabbing the right part here, not grabbing a half horse, whatever it may be. Underneath, you'll see what we call a secondary description. And this is truly for the tech to let them know a little bit more about what's going on. This is telling them that we've already included the belt in this task, also suggesting he probably add a pulley. And then if the customer wants to know more, we can go here to the arrow and expand it out, and it'll give us a customer description. And basically, it's just that. It's going to be what it is, what it does, why it could wear out, why it would need to be replaced, things that customers are going to ask about, nothing that really we're going to care about. And then you're going to see the 1.5 here. I don't know how familiar you guys are with flat rate. All flat rate, every job has a time assigned to it. We have a chart where we're marking up all your parts or materials in the back, and we're still doing that time material format. We're just pushing it out as a flat rate to the customer. So this is where you can see how much time is involved with that task. Also, if your tech wants to open it up and look and see what he's got there, that's where we're getting those numbers from. So we can move that up or down to change the price of this blower motor without changing the price of everything else in the heating book for you folks.
What's that recommended items?
Perfect. I'm going to slide down at the bottom. We always have any kind of recommended items. I always like to say it's the Amazon selling method. People who buy this also bought this, this, and this, but it's meant to be a sales tool for your techs to easily slide down here and then offer a pull and clean. And I should have a capacitor, a filter, great spot to have your service agreements, all that stuff. And before they can come down, put it on the invoice.
Service agreement to that?
Excuse me?
I can add my own recommendations.
You guys have, yes, you guys have full control what's there. You're going to find the common stuff, pull and clean, the obvious stuff we have in there. But yes, you guys can go in and change that. You can change it seasonally, that kind of stuff if you want. So absolutely.
Also, if I needed to adjust that price for $693 to like $650, how would I go about doing that? I know with traditional flat rate, it's not common to be able to do that.
What you would do is actually in the invoice of Field Edge, you'll be allowed to take off a discount by dollar amount or by percentage. You'd have to do it there.
Yeah. Okay.
No, good stuff. Good stuff. Any other questions, guys?
Not so far.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton more to show you inside the app here. Once we add this guy to the invoice, we are back in the world of Field Edge. So, just kind of keep that in mind. We're really just looking at the look and the feel. If you guys go with Field Edge, we're going to be looking more how we're going to manage this stuff, how we're going to change the pictures, and how we're going to get that information from Profit Rhino into Field Edge, really quickly for you guys.
So we got a couple questions. One of them would be, what is the normal time frame that it takes to put something like this in place? And is it recommended, because we are looking at more than Field Edge. There's a couple other ones, like ServiceTitan's one of them too. Is it proper to get Field Edge or ServiceTitan first, or is it better to get you guys first, or we get them at the same time? What's easiest?
Usually probably about the same time. Our book is going to take a little bit less. We take about 4 weeks to do the meetings and get everything done and customized for you guys. That can take a little longer, a little shorter, depending how much customization you guys want. Some people have to touch every picture, every description. So when you go with one of those guys, you are going to need a book for training at some point before you go live. So, I'd like to tell you guys to have the book done, a week, 2 weeks before your go live date for whatever service you guys are looking at going with. And then that way you'll have that stuff available for you guys when you do the training, your price book, all that stuff is ready. Of course, people wait till the dead last minute and call us and say, I'm going live at Field Edge on Friday. I need a price book. What can you do? So
That's why I got my wife, man, because that would be me if I didn't have.
But the thing is also, we can put it in any style. I mean, sometimes we have to put this generic version we're looking at today, we have to take it and put it inside their price book for them. And they just kind of do the success meeting and tweak it as they go, simply because they need to have it. As you can imagine, that's probably not the cleanest or the best way to approach a situation.
Not usually.
So cool. So just so you guys know, just some really cool stuff. You mentioned ServiceTitan, another friend of Profit Rhino here. If we just jump in here, we provide the same pricing information you're going to see there. We can quick jump in, and you're going to see it's really going to look almost identical to what we saw. They both just do a little bit different formatting here. If we get just a second, sure. That'd be great. Okay. Oh, I should have said no.
And as that's loading up, we've been reviewing everything, and it's tough to know like which platform to go with sometimes. What's your feedback on something like that? Like, they seem the same.
It depends. It depends what you want. I mean, my honest feedback is probably if it's just, you guys starting out in a couple of techs, ServiceTitan Field Edge might even be just too much. To be honest, I mean, I don't know if you guys have more techs in the field than just yourself right now, or.
No, but we plan on it. I mean,
I've
got a couple guys. I got a helper. I got a full-time tech myself, and then when we get busy, obviously I'll have maybe 3 or 4 extra.
Sure.
Probably be our goal is to be at around 6 extra technicians from the next 12 months.
Nice. And that's when you're getting in the range.
Yeah.
ServiceTitan will do like tons of stuff for you guys. This will tell you what your tech's girlfriend eats for lunch every day. I mean, it just tracks everything, which is really cool. It also comes with a substantial price tag, which I'm sure you guys have seen as well, along with Field Edge. So it depends what you guys want. Everybody wants a little bit differently out of these programs. So it really, just depends what you guys are after, what you want as far as tracking and management. But to just quick jump in here, everything's going to look extremely familiar for us all of a sudden here. You can tell we're really doing exactly the same thing. ServiceTitan will do some more things with our price book than Field Edge will. You can see in ServiceTitan, we can actually do multiple pictures, which we can't do in Field Edge. In ServiceTitan, you can touch them and they'll go full screen, which Field Edge won't do. At the bottom here, I don't have my recommended services up. So the recommended services come up as a pop-up inside of ServiceTitan. So when they add it to the invoice, they either have to offer that or exit out. So it really takes absolutely no excuses away for those guys to offer that. And then another cool thing that ServiceTitan kind of does a little bit better than Field Edge. Where's my AC section here? is in some things we do what we call upgraded items. You know, if you have different levels of products, we want to put them at the bottom, let the customer know they can upgrade or walk into, different kind of products. Most importantly, more expensive, more profitable products, right? So we can just put them right at the bottom. So we can have a nice Honeywell. We have a full book of Nest, all that stuff here we can put in. And all you have to do is scroll down and say, Mrs. Jones, we also have some nicer stuff for you here if you want to take a look at it. You just quick touch it, and then you're going to jump into those. So they both handle our price book. Service Titan will do just a little bit more with our price book than Field Edge will. Cool thing is it'll go in either place. So if you guys...
Sorry to stop you, Joe. How does
No.
that look when you're putting it on a quote? Like, how do those options look? Are you able to show us that?
I think so. I'm not a Service Titan master here, but this is going to be what your invoice looks like here. Attach it. Done, maybe.
I guess I was more interested, I know it's something that we've been talking about, was being able to show options on quotes, and we've heard mixed reviews between Field Edge and Service Titan on that one.
Perfect.
So.
And Field Edge, they're both clunky. If you want my honest opinion, they both have clunky ways of doing options. Like if you want to do an option here, we have to go and you have to set it up manually every single time you go. So if we go in here, and I can definitely do that, book a job, just add a new one here. Sorry, my fingers don't want to work today.
That's okay.
I came back from vacation today, so you know how those days go with emails and things on top of you that you just can't ever catch up on. So it's kind of...
Where'd you go? Anywhere nice?
I did. Actually, me and my wife went to Atlantic City for a couple of days because it was my... Yeah, it was fun. It was my birthday last week, and everybody went to the trade show, so I had to stay back and answer the phone. So I took a couple days off when they got back, but they were all in Vegas at the big show this last week.
Oh yeah, I think somebody was telling us about a show out there.
Well, it was something Service Trade World, or was it Service
World Expo? Yep.
There you go.
Perfect. So as far as them doing options, you have to go here to the estimate feature. You can add an estimate. You can name it whatever you want here. And then you have to jump in the price book and pick what you guys want to add. So this is where, like I said, it's a little clunky that he's got to go in and add this. We can add this guy as well. We can be done here. And then your next option, you have to go to add another estimate. And then you go and do a better if you want to do that. And then, you guys get the idea. You got to come in here, add all your stuff. Add a wheel too. Perfect. And you can just go on and do that infinitely. You can call them what you want. And then if you hit the present mode, it presents them side by side. You're not going to see the pictures until you go into view. Then it's going to show you the images, descriptions, and each one has their individual spots assigned at the bottom. So,
when the customer gets it, do they see images when they receive it, or is it just a regular template, like a description?
When it comes out of Service Titan, I'll be perfectly honest, I can't give you an answer that I'm 100% sure of. I think they do see the images when the invoice comes out of Service Titan. I would double check your Service Titan rep. That is see how they're going to transmit it.
Yeah, we're making some good notes for him too.
All right. Now you guys mentioned options. Now I'm going to show you the best way there is to present options in the industry. I'm going to jump into our app right here, ProfitRhino.com. We do like to say we're a FSM Lite or Service Titan Lite. We try and gauge ourselves towards kind of smaller size businesses. Again, we can come in the price book, and this is all monotonous. I'll save you guys walking through all this stuff here. But when we do options for the customer, we hide them right here in the 1, 2, 3. It's where you find options. Now, you can build a new option board less clunky than we just did it in Service Titan, or you can have them pre-built and just use them. You're going to use 5 option boards 95% of the time. So if we have them in here, all we have to do is go to your heating, belt drive, blower motor, open it up. I have pre-built good, better, best options already put together from the customer. We can do 2 to 5 options. If you guys do a summary of findings for the customer, we can go right here. This is typed in, or we can use voice to text if your tablets are capable. So that's really cool. And then if we go to this eyeball guy here, this changes into a branded PDF quote. This is printed or emailed directly from the tablet to the customer. First page is just a summary. Second page is going to include the image and description. When this goes, they will get the images as well. Again, you can see here, you can print it, email it right from the tablet. Also really cool, we're a cloud-based, web-based system. So this stuff all saves to your cloud. You can have one of your techs presenting an option in a customer's living room, and you can be in the office logged in and actually look at that same option he's presenting. So pretty cool stuff there. So we do really big with options. Those are really our big things here. We're going to lack on the tracking. We don't do the time cards through here. We don't do inventorying. We're kind of lighter on that end. We're also much lighter on the price tag as well. But we do a lot of cool things as far as options, upselling, cross-selling.
Joe, so I mean, the reason why we're looking into FieldEdge and ServiceTitan is because we're looking to integrate with our accounting system. So do you guys have any accounting integration?
Do you guys use QuickBooks?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll integrate with both QuickBooks desktop and online. It is not a direct app-to-app integration. All you have to do simply at the end of the day is download the file from Profit Rhino, upload it into QuickBooks. We'll give you an export, so QuickBooks will know all the task numbers. Every job here has a task number included to it. You see here all the T numbers. So we load these into QuickBooks, so when we send the invoices in, QuickBooks knows what to do with it. Obviously, we have about 1,000 customers now. Almost everybody uses QuickBooks, and everybody seems to like the system. It works pretty fluid for them.
Okay, so there's a couple of questions that are here, because we honestly, we weren't even thinking of you guys for a management tool, but how does that customer facing part, well, I'm sorry, the information about the customers, like their history of their work orders, do you guys have a dispatch board?
Yes and no. Currently, if we come into the customers here, I always go to my old standby Eli here. The answer to your dispatch question is, again, yes and no. We actually have a complete dispatch system built. Here's your customer history. It's in beta test with a few different companies. We were actually hoping to have it live October 1st. We ran into some bugs that had to go back into development for a little bit here. But we hope to have this live here, literally within the next few weeks. All they'll have to do is touch here, and it's going to give them Google Map directions to their next job. They'll be able to dispatch here, as you can see a work order history of all the times we've gone to the house. I want to be very clear about it. This is still in beta. It is not currently live.
Does it really track them too? Because GPS was always something in my previous companies we had mandatory. Does it do tracking for the vehicles or the app and the phone or tablet?
Currently, it's not going to do tracking. It's just going to give them directions. Not something we built into it yet. Something that may come in the future, but not anything directly on the horizon.
Can we use Square with it? Or you already answered?
Yeah. Yeah. So currently we're using Square for credit card processing. Do you guys integrate with them?
We don't integrate. You can go out of the app and use it. We actually integrate with a sister company of ours. It's called PaySimple, and I can real quick show you how that works. They're actually another company under the same corporate umbrella, so that's how they got integrated in our app here. But if we go here and go to take the payment, take your credit card, apply the balance, they are integrated in the app. You can see here, it seamlessly jumps in there. They'll send you a swiper. You swipe the card. It posts it to the invoice and then seamlessly jumps you right back into Profit Rhino. Otherwise, you can absolutely come out. You just have to come out, put the total in Square, swipe it in Square, come in here, and then mark it paid.
Okay. So any idea what the rates are?
I don't know. I will tell you this. I probably have about a 60% success rate sending people over there. So I think they got to be pretty darn competitive to get that kind of number to come back. I can have someone reach out and talk to you guys, and because let's face it, that's what it comes down to is the rates every time, right?
Yeah, it is. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves yet. Might want to schedule another call.
I've already really confused you guys enough for one day, so we can save that conversation.
Yeah, we were going in a completely different direction before we talked to you, Joe. Now you're kind of you're stumping us here. Okay, so let's talk about the syncing to QuickBooks. So any way you can show me what that looks like, because that's kind of my area of expertise.
I can't actually run a sync because I don't have any legitimate information in here to run it with, but we can kind of pull the report.
Because the beta tests.
Yeah, but I can give you an excellent idea of what it's going to do and what it's going to look like here. Just a second, I'm just getting relogged in. Move this over here. You're timed out after you're not active for 10 minutes, which is great security for you guys. Kind of pain in my rear end, but we'll get through it here. Just get logged back in. And this is where we'll do any of the management. Get that stuff to QuickBooks, change your pictures, update the tasks, the prices, all that stuff we can do here in the web portal. And then no matter what system you're going to, we can really take that information, get it over very quickly. Maybe.
And do we have to use certain tablets, or can we use phones, tablets?
It has to be a tablet, and it can be any Apple or Android tablet. The reason we require tablets is simply if you saw the images on the phone, everything just gets so small and it just looks bad. So we only support it on a tablet. We also don't support Microsoft tablets. So I believe they make a Surface and a Toughbook. We don't have an app for those.
Okay.
What do you just download from the App Store or something?
Just download right from the App Store, and then we give you login information. My personal recommendation, I like the iPad. The screen's a little bigger, it's a little clearer, and like I said,
I'm sorry. There's something I should have brought up at the beginning of this call. So another thing that I did when I was signing up for a demo yesterday is I also signed up for the 14-day trial.
Okay.
Do you know anything about that? Is that something that I get through you? Because it sent me an email and it said somebody would be reaching out, and then I was like, oh, I wonder if they'll connect the dots on the two.
Yeah. Oh, I can definitely get that going for you here today if you'll ever let me log in the system here.
Yeah.
I apologize for this, guys. If I can get in another page here. All I have to do is ask somebody. As soon as they get out of their seat, it comes right back. Maybe.
Oh, it's okay. Greg had to step out for a second and use the bathroom. He'll be back anyway.
Oh, perfect. Maybe I can use this one.
So, being that you're cloud-based, I mean, we've done a little bit of research and read up on our reviews and everything like that. What about, like, have you guys ever gone down? I know you said your management software was just in testing, but what about like your price book?
So far, knock on wood, we haven't had any problems. We host our price book through Amazon Cloud Services, which really makes it secure and we have backups there. So again, knock on wood, we haven't had any problems with it. But again, when you're kind of dealing with clouds and that stuff, sometimes there's things that are out of your control as well. So again, we've been lucky enough not to have any issues. Not to say that a glitch can't come with the cloud at some point, but the really cool thing is when we saw that stuff on the tablet, all that information is cached inside the tablet. So if you go somewhere where you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't have cell phone service, whatever it may be, all your pictures, all that stuff is still there inside the tablet. You obviously can't email the invoice, you can't take a credit card. So anytime you make a change, you have to do what we call a sync, and you'll actually do this inside of FieldEdge and ServiceTitan both. But basically what you do is sync data, you check for updates, and if you've made any changes, this is now going to pull those new changes in, so it'll be live in the tablet. So the cool thing is all the information, again, is cached. So if the cloud does go down, even for a day, your price book is still cached in that tablet. You just won't be able to make a change till it comes back up. So it's not going to leave you, completely on an island if something like that would happen. And again, knock on wood, it hasn't to this point.
Okay, so any changes we want to make to the price book, we have to make them in Profit Rhino, and then if we're using FieldEdge or ServiceTitan, we then have to go back and sync that.
Correct. What you'll do is once you make the change here, if you're in Field Edge, you see we have the sync here. This is a direct API. So you hit OK. It's going to send all that information over to Field Edge. Takes just a few seconds depending on how much stuff you change. If you went in and changed 500 pictures, it's going to take longer than a few seconds. Just keep that in mind. And then Field Edge will have you sync that new data in. That's going to be the same for any price book you guys go with inside of Field Edge. The only thing you wouldn't have to sync is something static that you put in that you're just using Excel sheets to pull it out, and change
Yeah,
it.
I don't think Field Edge integrates with any other flat rate. They recommended a couple other ones that we could use and import, but like there was no syncing necessary.
Correct. We're the only ones that have that direct API, and again, the purpose of that is so we can cache that information. So if you hit someplace without a signal, if a server goes down somewhere, you guys aren't left holding an empty tablet. All you got is Angry Birds on there. So, that's why we're syncing it and getting that
That's
information.
what you're saying is we have to go in and change it in there and then go sync in the other software if we're using something else besides them.
So we know that button.
It's not going to update.
Okay.
No, you have to hit this button to send it over, and then we're going to do the exact same thing if you guys go with Titan. Just depends which button you guys have. Either one are going to sync there. And then if you use our app, same thing. When you make a change, you save it here. You're going to have to sync it. And again, I was explaining to Jenna, that's simply because we cache the information in the tablet. So if you go somewhere where you don't have service, you can't connect. If a server goes down, all that price book information is cached up until your last sync, so you're not stranded without pricing information. Cool stuff. So I'm going to work a little backwards here, guys. First thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think Field Edge said they work in offline mode, like we don't have to always be connected to the internet, like if we're in an area with bad service. So how does that work with your price book?
It's going to go off the last.
I mean, is that still all?
Same thing. It's going to go off the last time that they've synced the data and cached that new stuff in the app.
Okay.
Yep. Perfect. So again, I'm going to work a little bit backwards here. You talked about our integrations and our syncs. This is where we can kind of pull everything in and out of the book, where we can import customers, customer lists. We can import parts, tasks. Everything is done through Excel. So if you guys have tasks built already that we don't have in the book, because we're on. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hello.
Oh, I don't know what happened. It just went silent.
I'm sorry. We're getting a storm coming through here, and our internet's kind of going in and out here. So I apologize for that.
Where are you located?
We're in upstate New York. Yeah, pretty much exactly on the other coast from where you guys are.
4,000 miles apart.
Yes.
You near Latham?
I'm sorry?
Are you out near Latham?
No, we're actually near Binghamton, kind of near Syracuse. Latham's kind of on the other side of the state.
I actually know where that is.
I pulled this up the other day. I was talking to somebody in San Diego, and she saw our address, and she goes, "No way, you're in Vestal, New York." And she ended up growing up like 3 blocks from where our office is, and it's strange world. She's like, "Is that bowling alley still across the street?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure is." So, cool stuff. But back to it here, guys. Import export again. I call this a no fun page where we're going to do all our reporting, all that stuff.
Again, I think.
Oh, hello. Hello.
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Perfect. So this is where we're going to format it. QuickBooks 1 is your desktop version. QuickBooks 2 is your online version. So all we have to do is come in here. We're going to export the report. I'm going to pull one here. Let's see what it does. This might be a big mistake. But we'll pull that out here with the internet, see what that's going to do. And that's going to, again, just going to pull it out in a format that we can put it right inside of QuickBooks. QuickBooks will know the task numbers, your customer information is all in there, and QuickBooks is going to do what it does here. Again, we can get some references from some other companies if you want to talk to them, but it seems to work pretty slick for them here. Let me see if this thing will actually open. It's not. And what this pulled is this just pulled the price list because I don't have any customer information in here. But this is actually what the export will look like that we'll put in. So it'll know the task number and pricing for everything that we send into QuickBooks. So if you have some customers in there, you can pull that export and it'll be able to match that stuff up for you guys here. Again, I apologize being a beta test account here. I don't really have any accounts or anything I can actually pull.
Oh, no worries. You know, we're not sure if we're ready to really move on this for the next 1 to 2 months anyway. How long did you say before that's ready?
The dispatch.
Yeah.
The dispatch, we're really, like I said, we were hoping for October 1st. We ran into some bugs, so we took it back. We're truly hoping for a couple weeks here. Definitely going to be up by the end of the year. So, but you know, as a sales guy, sooner the better for me. You know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So perfect. But then kind of work backwards here. Work order, something we talked about. This is where you guys are able to manage your customers. You can come in here anytime we saved it. Again, I told you my standby is Eli here. You'll see the date we went, the customer's name here, the address, the technician that went. You'll always be able to see the options. This is showing us that your tech offered 3 options in the field. It's meant so you can look at this at the end of the day. You don't have to run a ton of reports to know if your guys are doing what they're doing. Obviously, the green one is the one they took. All you have to do is click on it. It's going to show you what that option was that they bought. And then you can click on the ones they didn't buy and make sure your guys aren't just offering junk out there.
What about like something that's outstanding? Oh, is that what the one is that doesn't have anything green in it?
Correct. This one, they showed an option, but they never made a choice. And then down here, the blank is going to be they were never shown an option. So at the end of the day, you can see, you know, these guys didn't buy, these guys weren't shown options. You can see this is $108, probably a good reason. But again, it's meant so you can just visually look at this at the end of the day and get an idea of what your guys did out in the field and how that, how that day went for those guys. And
okay.
again,
well,
if you guys,
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm pretty partial to Peyton, so you know.
Yeah, you better give us some serious discounts now, brother.
If it makes you feel any better, our home company EverCommerce is located in Denver, and it is
Right.
very taboo to talk bad about the Broncos in any way.
Digging yourself out. It's okay.
So
Greg has to do that all the time.
Good. I'm not going to eat that night. I know.
So then here on the options, this will expand. If we do up to 6 options, it'll show 6 bubbles here. So again, just try and help you guys manage it easily at the end of the day. Total, pretty self-explanatory. And then we're going to do the same thing here with the paid. If they paid, we're going to put it in this huge blue box. So at the end of the day, you can look here and know who paid and who didn't. Makes it super simple for you guys. Also, we can come in here if we want to see the work orders. We talked about looking at the customers, what they're doing out there. All we have to do is click on the invoice or the PDF. And actually, we didn't get to an invoice. This is what a final invoice looks like through Profit Rhino when it goes out to the customer. Again, your information on top, their information, all the images, all the descriptions for everything they purchased, signatures, disclaimers. This your logo here is a PDF. You can put coupons, advertising. I have a company who actually sold that to another company and advertises on all their invoices. And then you can do any kind of acknowledgments, addendums you guys want as well. And again, you guys will see all that stuff here. You can also email these invoices directly from the office. So it makes it really cool to manage. And then if we click on the customer, this is going to jump us inside where we can see all their information. We can do internal notes from the tablet or from the system here. If their house smells, the dog bites, whatever it is, we can make those notes here. They'll only be seen internally. And then if we hit invoices, this is where you're going to see the customer invoicing. This is where you can come in and see just a history of them. And again, you can do all the same stuff we saw on the other page. Of course, you can use the filters to really get granular here on the information.
Do the technicians see those internal notes?
The technician would see the internal note. Yes, absolutely. That's only going to be between the technician and the office.
Now, I know you said beta testing, but do you have the ability to show us what dispatching looks like on the mobile?
I don't have a beta of the dispatch to show at this point.
Okay. So I guess we might want to hold off a little bit longer and maybe have another call with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When that dispatch is live, absolutely. Again, I'm hoping much sooner than later. So, for sure there. Next things I want to show you. This stuff we looked at here was all common stuff to our standalone app. Let's do one more quick. And then this stuff up here is what you're going to use for no matter what you're doing. But this is where the option boards are held. I jumped in that pre-built option board for the blower motor. You can come
Oh
in.
yeah, yeah, that was neat.
And this is where you can kind of just massage the ones we've made now to really make them your own or change them. Also really cool is you can create these. So Greg, you can actually build every option board that they sell out in the field from your office and then just send them live to the tablets. So really cool there as well. And then the other neat thing here is
Right now, right? They got
No.
this. Oh, right.
Hold on. Wait. So this is live.
Is this available?
The option-
this absolutely. The only thing that's not live with our app is dispatch. You can still bill, take credit cards, do everything with it. Right now, my customers standalone are dispatching through a Google Calendar or Microsoft Calendar, just kind of getting the information out there, and then the techs present and sell, do everything else to the end of the program, with our system.
Yeah.
So yeah, all this is completely live. Tech option list. This shows you if they built an option in the field. We show the belt drive blower motorcycle that somebody built here. We can jump in here, and this is going to show the option that this tech built out in the field. It's got a cast iron kitchen sink in there and a blower motor belt. Somebody had a lot of fun with this one. But the point is, you can see any options your guys build in the field. Make sure they're not putting kitchen sinks on blower motor options. And then also, if they're really good at this and they sell lots of stuff, you can take this option and share it with all the other tablets, have everybody else using those option boards that seem to be selling lots of stuff. So cool there. And then option mask list, this will go ahead and you can set up whatever you want, pardon the term, but gimmick for your options. Do the good, better, best, like new, recommended, critical. I have a guy who's part of the Ben Franklin plumbing conglomerate. I don't know what else you call it. He went through and made all his options like historical Ben Franklin things. It was really cool what he did with it. But you guys can come in here, name them whatever you want, and you can do up to 6 different options. Gold, silver, platinum, diamond is a popular one as well.
All right. So let's get to the brass tacks, so to speak.
All right. So we're looking at two different pricing levels for you guys, depending on what you decide to do. First thing I want to talk to you guys about is Success Program. This is the same either way. If you guys decide to go with us, we talked about getting it started earlier. It's really, truly about a 4-week program to get everything set up, get your install book done. We do have a full new equipment book. We'll customize for you guys to do your new equipment sales, so we can use those options and stuff there. Keep in mind, this is a really realistic time frame. If you're going to use our standalone app, you're looking at $55 per user. Now, a user is only a tech in the field. So if it's just Greg and the other guy out there, you're only looking at $110 a month right now. We'll add them as they come on. There's a one-time charge for the Success Training at $12.99. As you guys can see here, really to cover our basis for this. We do it because we're not a contract service. This is month to month from day one. We really feel either with our data import for another FSM or our standalone product, we offer a good program at a very good price for you guys. If you're not happy, let's just go our separate ways here. So in order to do that, we obviously have to kind of recover our expenses for building the book for you guys up front. If you're a member with any of these groups here, they also let me take $200 off that up front for you guys as well. And then if you decide to do a data, let's actually have that right here. Sorry for my ugly PowerPoint. Hi, guys. Are you there? Hello? I think I'm losing you guys. All right, guys, can you hear me?
Joey, you were telling us pricing, and
Awesome.
the last set of pricing, was that pricing with
We got 2 people, 110, then we lost.
Yep, perfect. So 2 people, 110. So office staff, everything there is free. The Success Training, $12.99 up front is to cover this here. Again, we do that because we don't do contracts. This is month to month from day one. Really, we feel like for $55 a user, options, upsells, cross-sells, you guys can recover that pretty easy. If you guys don't feel that way, we're not going to hold you to a contract. As far as pricing, if you guys want to use us in Field Edge or Service Titan, it's just a little bit differently. That is a flat $189 a month. That is unlimited text, unlimited office staff, all the trades, whatever you guys want. We're just making one import. So just a little bit different pricing. Decide which way you guys want to go with the program. The success, the training is all the same for either program. Just whatever your monthly is going to be different depending if we're doing a data import into another program or you guys are using our standalone.
To stack up, I mean, he's saying is we got to pay that plus the monthly Field Edge for the service type.
Yeah.
Correct. Another cool thing is, guys, if you want to start with our program and, ease yourself into it, you can always use ours. And 6 months down the road, you go to Field Edge Service Titan, you just tell us the day. We just hit the API key, shoot your price book in there, change the billing, and you guys are off and running. So that's kind of a neat
What about what about that work order history and stuff if we ended up using you guys for the service management software?
If you guys use us, that work order history will be there from the time you start with us till the time you end. We can't import any old history that you guys have now. And at this current point, we can't accept it, or we can't send it into Field Edge.
I got her in here, Joe. And I would have thought to ask that. Okay. So what you're saying is basically if we went with you, which it sounds like there's reasons to and reasons not to, but if we went just with you, we would not be able to bring anything over. We'd only be able to have a price book.
So we can't even sync our customers that are in QuickBooks already?
We can bring the customers in as far as their names, addresses, put that in there so it's in the price book so your text can search and find that information. We just can't bring in the history. We can't bring in, the last 6 months of invoices you guys have done with all these customers. That would have to sit in QuickBooks.
The addresses, all that comes over, right?
Correct. Names, addresses, phone numbers, emails, all that stuff will come over, just not the actual work history. We're not going to see that we put a blower motor in Peyton Manning's house, fix his air conditioning, keep his forehead cool, that kind of stuff.
I mean, we'll have the history in
We'd have financial history in QuickBooks though, right?
You would. Yep. All that stuff will stay in QuickBooks. Really, the big part about not having it in here is once your techs get in the field where they can go in and see the last jobs, they won't be able to see that 6 months ago they put a blower motor in here. That's really where you kind of lose when that comes to. But
we had a lot of pushback with guys that they weren't able to see that stuff, and then they were offering things that they quoted 6 months ago that the customer rejected.
That is where it gets a little sticky. As far as the customer information, again, you're right. All that stays in QuickBooks. You're just not going to be able to see the history in the field for the tech. So that's where you just have to be a little careful with it. But then only for a few months. After you get a few months out, you can re-offer them that stuff again. So, again, just to kind of be upfront with it, that's usually where I hear the feedback with people moving over like that is in that first, 3 to 6 months, they can't see that recent history from the customers.
So if you were 1-2 techs out in the field, no, we're going to be around 5 or 6 within the next 12 months. I mean, what would you recommend us to do? I know my wife wants to have the back end accounting work. I mean, we're going to have to talk about that after this meeting. But what would you recommend? Because I really like the way it looked in the presentation on the price book.
Yeah.
The option, your actual physical invoice looked better than what I've seen from other guys out there. What would you recommend though, like if you were me? Because this is starting to blend, it's starting to look the same.
Sure. I mean, and again, I'm paid to have an opinion, so take it what's worth. But I think for you guys at 1 to 2 shops, probably the best to migrate in our book, get the guys used to how it works, and then figure out what your needs are from there. Service Titan and Field Edge are going to provide more stuff as far as reporting and tracking. But after you've used us for 5-6 months, you're kind of get a better idea what you guys need. Do I need all the stuff that Service Titan offers? And I think you'll have a better vision. And then, like I said, we can just move the price book either way. You're paying the same success. You don't have to repay it, anything like that. So you have a done book, and you can just take it where you feel like you should have it at that point.
The only thing you didn't touch on, and this is going to be like really critical for our business, especially over the next 3 to 6 months, is service agreements. Are you guys going to be able to handle that at all?
Handle them how?
Well,
manage our schedule.
What we did at my previous job
reminders,
was we had automatic reminders. I know you've probably seen it, like how they automatically text and email and phone call stuff. That was critical. I didn't handle that at that business, but I know it was critical for our slow months. So, and I'm not going to be the one calling, and I know my wife will be mad at me and make me call.
Somebody's
I don't even want to go there. It's like $30,000 salary we pay to have that.
No.
And that's where we're planning on growing towards. That's what got us involved.
Sure. And again, to be transparent, our standalone product does not have any kind of automated reminders for service agreements at this point. I'm sure it's on the roadmap. I can't tell you how many twists and turns are before we get to it there, but that's not something we offer.
Customers are currently doing right now? Do they have third-party stuff? I used MailChimp before. I kind of know how that one works.
You can use MailChimp. You can use third-party stuff. Depending on how many service agreements you have, if you keep them organized by the month, sometimes you can handle them there until they get too big. People have creative solutions. That's one of those things where, things like that, you need to move into a pricier software.
I mean, that was huge.
It is. And hopefully after we have dispatch, that'll be, something will come down the pipe next. Again, we're trying to piece by piece make it, our end goal is to be, like I said, kind of a Service Titan light for the 1 to 7 truck show before they really move into some of those bigger outfits.
All right, Joe. So the last thing is, because we do have to wrap up, Greg's got another call he's got to run, but just setting up that trial, is that something that you can do for us so that we can test it?
Yes, absolutely. I'll set it up right when we get off the phone here. What I will do, Jenna, is I will use the email you gave me that I sent this meeting invite to as your username. The password I will set to password1 with a capital P. Once you get in, you can just change it to whatever you guys want. You'll get an email when it comes through that it's valid. I'll try and get it in. I also have another demo to jump on here in about 8 minutes. If not, I'll get it done after that before I leave. So you should see it within the hour or so. Once you get the email, it's live. Jump in. You can play with it. You can also download the app, Profit Rhino Pro, in the App Store, and you can actually kind of change the information, sync it back and forth, see how that works. You'll be able to log into to both ends of it.
Also, can you send me a quote with the 2 different options that you showed us?
Absolutely, I can do that as well. Yeah.
All right. Great. Sorry, Greg has a call and he's gonna go.
Yeah.
So we've got to wrap up.
Hey,
But
Joe, thank you so much. She's gonna take over from here. I appreciate everything you did. That's a big help for us.
Hey, no problem. Have a great day, Greg. Enjoy your next call.
all right. So is there anything else you need from us, Joe, before we go?
No, I was just going to pause again quick for questions, see if there's anything else you guys wanted to see here, but I think I'll send all that information over. If I haven't heard from you guys by maybe the middle of next week, I'll just do a quick follow-up and see if the water's got any clearer after I muddied them a little more for you guys here this afternoon, and we just kind of take it from there, see where you guys are at, and we'll we'll see what the next right move is for everybody, and we can take it that direction.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day.
All right. Bye.
Bye.